Welcome back, everybody. Today, I just wanted to talk about the World Exploration Update hotfix that you might have seen in your mail that also gave you compensation. Let's get into it. So, first and foremost, as you read here, it says that to ensure your exploration of the new areas are both enjoyable and manageable, we have decided to make the following adjustments to the unlock requirements for different areas. Now, you might have thought that this was a decrease in level or basically a change so it makes your experience more accessible, as in you are able to access the new areas at a lower level, but actually they've increased the level requirements, so now you have to be 130, 150, 170, and 190, whereas in the past you used to have to be 120, 140, 160, and 180. Now, technically speaking, this feels odd because you would imagine that making the lower or the level requirement lower would be nicer so that you don't have to wait as long to upgrade. But based on this, this feels like it is a more controlled experiment kind of change where they have already seen that your characters, I guess, would be too strong or they would be too weak for these certain areas. So they're trying to limit or put restrictions specifically on your account or your characters so that I guess you are forced into certain areas for longer. I'm not entirely sure what the angle or what the analytics or what the statistics suggest to make these areas level locked harder. But the only thing that I can think of as of right now is that people were zooming through the content, or maybe they basically went through one of the locations early enough that once they reached the new location, they were struggling more. And I guess to combat that, you could argue that level locking or reducing the level or increasing the level rather of some of the areas would force you into areas and force you to grind in certain areas before you become ready to encounter the next location. I just think that locking or pushing back the content or season or time specific restricting content is a little bit more, I guess, unideal. In a perfect world, of course, there would need to be no restriction and it would just be like the perfect flow. However, I do understand that putting restrictions on certain pieces of content does allow you to kind of pace the content of the game, as they're currently doing with Dura's trial. But furthermore, with this hotfix, they also said that new areas will now unlock progressively over the first 8 days of the season. Only Ashen Wastes 1 through 3 will be available on the first day, which is another kind of, I guess, interesting change. I guess they want to immerse players a little bit and they want you to stay within the bounds or the confines of certain, I guess, gameplay limits. To be clear, in terms of a pacing sort of point of view, this is nice for players that aren't able to play as much and they want to not find themselves super far behind, especially with the advent of or the introduction of Supreme Arena and things like that. The district-wide rankings or competitive activities. But if you are someone that is blitzing through the content, this change feels a little bit inhibiting and a little bit restrictive, which I can definitely see people push back on. But ultimately, I am not Lilith, and if you are kind of in between where it's nice to kind of play through the content a little bit, you were probably already going to be blitzing through the content if you're a whale anyways, or you were probably going to be way above and beyond the other players if you're a whale anyways. And if you are a newer player, I think this only helps you because now, excuse me, it will feel like you aren't getting left behind in the dust. Furthermore, just on the topic of the seasons thing, they also announced that if you invite your friends, you have a chance to win a PlayStation 5, which is a really random giveaway thing that they introduced, which is cool. But also, as I mentioned before, you have the 300 gems here. Furthermore, in the hotfix, they also improved the description of the Crescent spell. The Crescent spell, by the way, I'll make a video on because all the new season relics are actually quite ridiculous. This is kind of nice. I don't think a lot of people really understand what the new season relics do outside of, okay, I do damage. But furthermore, they optimized the visual effects of sandstorm weather. It was pretty bad prior. Like, honestly, you would see it and you don't really pay attention to it because you're zipping around or you're auto pathing anyways, but it looked quite bad. They also fixed the display issue with the season noble path, which is okay. I'm not quite sure what that is referring to. They fixed an issue where the affinity icon appeared on empty hero slots in Resonating Hall. I did notice that there were a bunch of new affinity symbols or new affinity notifications with all the characters that I had on my account that I didn't formerly have, but they were just telling me to get my first level worth of affinities rewards. And then there was also an issue where there was some untranslated text, which typically, if you've ever seen it, it's just like the Chinese or I believe it's Chinese characters that you can't interpret or you don't understand when you like are sifting through certain pieces of the UI. And they also added a preview of district ranking rewards to the Dream Realm feature interface. This is really nice because, or I didn't really even think that they had to do anything more to this. If you guys have checked out actually the ranking to or the ranking for things like the Dream Realm, if you are already familiar with it, there is a a little rankings thing here, and it will tell you the rewards at the top. However, actually, if you take a look at the district rewards, there is also another set of rewards that you can take a look at, and the the performance of you and your peers in the district will be shown right here, which is really nice. And I guess they're just improving upon this, but honestly, not that big a deal. But again, I just wanted to kind of comment on the changes that they made and whether or not I think the hotfix is justified. And this kind of feels like a way for them to, I guess, set the bar or kind of make it so that it doesn't feel like the game is super whaley, or it feels like the whales blow you out of the water, which, while I understand what their intentions are, this game already feels like it was going to be blown out of the water for whales. So in that sense, I guess technically speaking, this doesn't matter. The whales were always going to outpace the free-to-plays or the players that don't have as much time to play. However, if you are someone that doesn't feel like you can play 24 hours a day, I don't know if you even care about your pacing of the game. In any case, though, it is a nice-ish gesture for those of you that don't have quite enough time to play, and it now feels like you can, I guess, stay on the same level or be on the same level as some of the other players. But just to be clear, that doesn't stop you from getting absolutely blitzed in Arena, in Dream Realm, or any of the other content, which is what I think a lot of people are kind of focusing on anyways. They're trying to get to the highest new AFK stage. They're trying to get the max ranking on the Supreme Arena. And so therefore, I don't know if anyone is super benefiting from the fact that they've now restricted certain arena content outside of, I guess, the inability to unlock Supreme Arena. It kind of doesn't really make sense, at least in my opinion. But at least I can understand where they're coming from. In any case, though, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to talk about the hotfix, what they announced. And in any case, I think that it's okay, but not that big a deal. Kind of futile in honesty, and if you're a whale, you might be a little bit more annoyed by the fact that you can't play more of the game. In any case, though, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. Make sure to check out my alt channel where I'll be posting more content. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Check out the rest of my socials. Good night.